great to have, the hard engage kind of go button from the support. I was honestly still expecting that they would go for it just because it is kind of so common in pro play that people just default towards that. He did skip his blue buff, so trying to get there before Fudge can crash this wave. Okay. And Fudge could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Fudge going to have to look out for that Vault Breaker because here it comes. XU arrives. One more hit's going to get it done. First blood over to Disguise.
Yeah, after 6 minutes on the clock, as Disguised is going to walk up and try to potentially contest for this. XU nearby. Drake down to about 1,500 HP. Contracts close in, and it will be secured by the Trundle. Now everybody on Disguise, ready to dogpile in, but Rahel's already got the first kill. There on to Seos. Shopify Rebellion trying to get away from this one. Contracts takes a bite, but it's who he used his flash. He's not going to have that available for almost 5 minutes. Shopify Rebellion have secured a single grub for themselves, as now he's ready to start up the fight. Seos in the middle of everybody, but the Rel doesn't even have the power to use the ulti just yet. XU's already dead as B-Boy picks up the kill. Now Castle in the middle of everybody, trying to find enough damage here on the Contracts. The winds of war are blowing, but they do not blow strongly enough. As Disguise disengages back over the wall, they get everybody back on out after having only lost XU, but it's a +1 fight.
If you don't have the backup, you're the delivery food driver and making sure that the opponents are being well fed.
Unfortunately for XU, that one backfires, but he does still have 100% kill participation. It's not like it's been a bad game from him so far. Fudge now in a little bit of danger. He firing off the Tempered Fate to save him a couple of turret shots as Fudge has to try to kite away back from his own turret. Seos wants to come up here and help his top laner. Fudge is buying a lot of time, but not enough. XU claiming kill number 4 for Disguise.
Yeah, well done there by Disguise. He just turns off the tower.
12 minutes in, they're leading just about every way that they could possibly be leading in. As soon as they'll grab this dragon here to equalize those like you're talking about. Darkwings just clearing out some continued vision here on his Galio. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Darkwings on the Galio so far. Just want to make sure that as they keep going forward, they're syncing up with the Vi. Fudge once more in danger. Castle and Huhi putting in some good work at a health bar there, and now Castle should just be able to cook him up, but Fudge, he drinks his potion. He barely gets.
That should be the feats going their way. Contracts is kiting this Gromp down, but I mean, I don't think he's going to get in range to actually do anything about this here. XU has the smite, takes it. That is going to be upgraded boots there. As Darkwing's looking for a re-engage.
Yeah, Darkwings might be in a little bit of danger here, but a nicely placed Tempered Fate drops any chance of Shopify following up on that immediately. Contracts is going to try to posture aggressively, step forward a little bit further.
From all the greats.
All
from
over
Vin
the road.
Diesel, from Ricky Bobby. Some of the philosophers, the greatest minds of our time, Flowers.
I like how we're using the name of one character. Hold on now. Seos is going to be some danger heading his way as he gets cooked up by Castle right there next to XU and Huhi. They set the trap. It's easy to find the
Moretto or whatever his name is. It's Vin Diesel, brother.
All right, you know what? Fair enough. We got Vin Diesel and Ricky Bobby.
His last name is Diesel, and he's in a racing movie. He's Vin Diesel.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. You know, I can respect the wordplay on that one, as I can also respect another Tempered Fate coming out here from Huhi, but he's got to be a little bit more careful. Palafox wanted to try to get the damage down, but it ain't going to happen. Huhi swapping over to the Exhaust, finding value there with the Summoner Spellbook, and
disjointed at times, and Shopify is always going to be a threat. Castle is spotted.
Okay, Castle, can you fight your way out of this one? Tries to turn around for some damage there, but a Contract just about burns him down, but the Tempered Fate arrives. XU trying to follow up here with an engage. Beautifully played from Castle. The Rumble is the bait, and Shopify are hooked. Disguised feeling great about the way this one played out.
Yeah, that was actually sick. Castle able to get a great equalizer down that is getting them really low. Then it's the entire team that comes in to actually bail him out, because Huhi buys time with the Tempered Fate, and then XU targets Palafox, who has his full kit available. So as the Tempered Fate expires on Castle, Palafox is CC'd by the Vi, so he can't actually finish him off. So it was really well done by a number of DSG members there, and they're going to get Otacon. Obviously pulled off the upset, but DSG showing that they are not to be messed with here, and turning in a pretty solid game. TP's coming up. There's the Exhaust. I don't know if they can actually chase him down.
Yeah, Castle's feeling pretty confident on this Rumble. Fudge is not going to get a whole lot more here. B-Boy, though, ready to follow it up on the Corky. One more auto attack, point blank range. You combine it with the Gatling gun, and Castle finally falls.
Nicely done. Going to be able to chase him down. They do get a kill there. We'll see how much more they can take, because the objective bounties are up and available. So if Fudge can push in and actually take the tower on the top side, that would be nice. But meanwhile, XU is working away on this dragon, so they are going to be moving to Soul Point here. It is Chemtech Soul, so not the highest desirability as far as that is concerned, but still, a soul is a soul. Fudge will be able to take this tower, though, so the gold lead will be getting closed a decent bit there. You know, down below 3K. It was about 1,000 gold swing off the back of that, but Rahel going to help to even things out as he's going to be able to knock down that mid lane tower.
Yeah, it's still very
here. And we'll see if they can find a play to try to turn things around. They do have some pretty good X-Factor champs. You know, they have some power as far as the side lane goes. If Fudge can maybe find a solo kill or something like that. And they do have some good engage tools here with both Seos and Palafox. But Seos may be getting caught out here.
Yeah, that main engage tool just took a whole ton of damage, just barely getting away for now. XU catches up, smites him down. Now Darkwing's ready to make his heroic entrance.
Fudge.
TP though, Fudge wants to join up with everybody, and Darkwings has overextended. Another shutdown for Shopify. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade, but the gold favors the Rebellion.
Yeah, nicely done there. Shopify can be free firing, and hopefully for them, we'll be able to get something done as a result. Because when you're looking over, there's very little armor, right? You know, it's the Galio is on Merc Treads plus the Hall of Radiance. You know, there's a little bit of armor elsewhere, but Huhi getting caught out, that definitely sucks.
Yeah, Huhi did not want to be there.
They're trying to attack the tier 2 top as an answer. Palafox clearly knows this, though. He is standing very far back. But even if he can't, you know, get a kill or whatever, you can still try to focus down this tier 2 tower, and that's what they're going to do here. Just 3 members top, focus down the tier 2, so they'll at least get that gold. But teleports are coming in as well from Huhi, so maybe DSG wants to try to find some even more, like try to set up a pick around Baron, try to control vision in that area, see if they can force something.
Well, Fudge does take the tier 1 turret down here.
Well, the WoW-E every once in a while.
Let's see if Seos can give us a WoW-E here as DSG are starting up the Baron, but they don't want to overcommit to it. Got it down to about 3/4 HP. Castle has to flash over the pillar. Tempered Fate doesn't find anybody. Rahel just firing on these Mystic shots. Remember with this build, with the Shojin all stacked up, it pretty much doesn't have a cooldown. Rahel trying to shift forward there, aggressively find some more damage onto Seos. Remember, that is your main engage for Shopify, but it's a level 10 rel. It's a 1/3 HP. If he goes in, he is dead.
Yeah, he'll probably just, it'll be duck hunt. They're going in anyway.
Immediately, though, XU ready to lead the charge. The heroic entrance ain't going to do a whole lot here just yet as Castle's about to die to Fudge off to the side. Palafox already down now, too, as XU, the rest of the Disguise Scrap with contracts, and B-Boy off on the left. Rahel bringing him underneath the tier 1 turret. A beautiful bait and outplay from Disguised. A double kill for Castle before he falls. 2 still standing on Shopify Rebellion versus the 3 of Disguised. It's a bloody fight that slightly goes Disguised's way.
He's getting a bit antsy. And not only are you losing out your own life, you're losing the GA as well.
Ooh, Contract, though, caught up in a Tempered Fate, but he's not the one in danger. Darkwings is the one to be sacrificed as the last bit of needlework from Fudge ain't gonna find a target, but Huhi kills off Palafox. So we will get mid laner from mid laner traded here as once again, the Dragon...
A lot of people doing. Seos is sitting on Smite. They're trying to focus this down.
Rahel is not even here yet. The Ezreal is nowhere nearby, so Shopify can immediately claim the Drake. Huhi tries to go on a magical journey, but the journey is straight to hell. B-Boy sends him there. Courtesy
I've got to question the Frozen Heart in this game. Like, I just don't think that Frozen Heart is really it in this situation. You're the one with... I don't know.
Oh, Shopify's deciding to full send it after Rahel, though, who barely gets away over the wall. Now Darkwings, XU, and Castle coming in for the massive counterattack. And B-Boy is cooked up. Rahel stays alive. And Disguise turn it around, punishing Shopify.
Yeah, nicely done. Able to kite out that engage, and they do punish pretty...
B-Boy, the main cannon from Shopify, one of the 2 eliminated, means there's just no way for Shopify to try to fight for this. And now, right when it looked like Disguise may have lost all their footing, how they may...
Everyone, and you can see it on the face of Damonte there, realizing they went way too far. And that one hurts because you lose the Baron just like that again. They have full control of the map. They're going to be pushing here and trying to extend the gold lead. Even larger lead than it's ever been.
Okay, Huhi's off to the side. Keep your eyes on the board for the Tempered Fate to try to continue pushing things forward. Disguise, the big thing about that last fight too, because meanwhile in mid, Castle has escorted the next wave up, so it's pressure in 2 places here from Disguise as they continue slowly whittling away at both these tier 3 turrets.
Yeah, pushing in both of these lanes, and we'll see how much they can get done. Rahel is stepping forward, just kind of poking away, not really able to hit the tower just yet. They're going to drop the Tempered Fate, though, and now the tower will fall.
Okay, tower out of the way here in bottom lane. The base has been broken, and Disguise do not want to stop here. Rahel continuing to find those auto attacks, wear down the HP of this inhibitor, take the first inhib, and come that much closer to securing the first win here in this best of 3. As Castle opens up the mid lane inhib to be the target next. Rahel going to find a little bit of damage on that first Nexus turret, knocks it down to almost half. Darkwings popping the stasis, trying to stay alive here for the very front line as they engage back onto B-Boy. The Corki is down, and Disguised have found their main man. Now, everybody else on Shopify scrambles to stay alive, but Castle just does way too much damage. Shopify fought back as good as they could, but after 37 minutes, Disguised proves triumphant to take game 1.
Nicely done by DSG, getting a win for last. So we'll see if they can get much value from that. Obviously, Nico does still have good counter engage. Not saying that it's a bad pick, but some of these kind of like really strong supports that can from top lane over towards mid. So they're spending their tempo instead of building a CS advantage just to guarantee that.
Okay. Pathmaker there from Castle, make sure that he does not get jumped on any further by Contracts, as Darkwings was already forced to flash just a moment ago. Contracts continuing to chase after Castle through the jungle here. Not going to go
objective credit for it, as XU should be able to grab this one.
All right, already a thumbs up for Seos, getting himself out of danger there, as now Contracts does jump in to grab that last grub. Darkwing with a little bit of damage over the wall, though, ready to follow up behind XU, as there's the Pop Blossom from Huhi, but he's very, very low on HP. Contracts tries to jump back in and he gets first blood, but he dies right after. Now Rahel finds himself a pickup, as Disguise has already got 2 kills. XU wants a little bit more, but B-Boy barely gets away. Palafox won't get a whole lot back here, and Disguised
traded, I should say, there between Castle and Palafox in that replay.
Yep, Castle wanted to go for the pick, but couldn't find it to start up this Herald. Now Disguised is near, and it looks like XU and Darkwing's going to try to approach here from the Tri-Bush, but instead Darkwing's getting caught out, has to flash back over the wall. Nice reversal here from XU, but now he's going to be the target. Who he wants to try to approach. B-Boy jumps into the back line. Pop Blossom onto B-Boy to keep Darkwings alive, but XU's in the middle of everybody, and he's cut down first. Next kill goes over as Darkwings falls, and it's Shopify Rebellion picking up 2 for nothing.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get 2 kills, and they should be able to grab
massive reward for the side of Shopify Rebellion, because they end up beating Disguise to the punch on the feat of Warfare. They end up securing the feat of Objectives at the same time. Now Castle going in after Contracts, might be finding some good damage here, goes all out, but he won't drag him back through the wall. Enough damage still there. Castle picks up the kill. Nice punish there from Disguised.
Yeah, going to be able to get that kill. Rahel, though, spent his flash and his ulti. It didn't quite catch him to help secure that kill. But Darkwings, in the meanwhile, is pushing down on this bot lane tower, so should be able to get this tower for himself. They are working on the Dragon right now also, but it's going to be TP coming in here from Palafox. They want to contest even without their jungler. Okay,
Disguised going after the objective as B-Boy has already jumped in after Darkwings, and with Palafox and Fudge here too, Darkwings is already out of the picture. Now Palafox rides into the Weaver's wall. Seos distracting Huhi off the side. XU is stuck in the middle of everybody, but it is still the Drake going the way of Disguised at least. It's going to cost them, though, as they've already lost Darkwings. They've already lost XU, so the fight goes to Shopify.
Yeah, Shopify winning another fight in Ocean Soul, which would be strong on their comp, because they do have a really beefy front line if they can continue to grab these dragons.
Yep, but they have to make sure they don't let that gold lead slip a whole lot further. Otherwise, how are you even going to manage to fight for them? You're down 2,000. Control over the top side river, control over the Otacon pit belongs to Shopify Rebellion, and Darkwings knows he's got to back up. The Victor, you already mentioned it, he's been caught twice now. He has to stay safer. He has to avoid the aggro from Shopify Rebellion, who have painted a target on his back. TP coming in now, as Fudge will be the first top laner to arrive. Darkwings also going to teleport in now for DSG, as they're ready to try to approach this Otacon that's already down to 4,000 HP. Seos wants to interrupt, as XU jumps into the middle of everybody, and the Pop Blossom only finds Seos. The Otacon is low, but Contracts is lower. Disguise going to find themselves the first kill. They're going to take the objective on top of it. Beautifully maneuvered there so far, as Seos has to try to get away, but he's walking straight into the waiting arms of Darkwings, who just got paid.
That was huge for DSG, able to win the fight, steal the Otacon, and Seos even flashing out, like, where was he going to go?
You talk about him going in. They have the coherent play. They know what they want to do as a team. We criticized last game those almost throw moments in the mid game of him trying to do too much. But that time, he did exactly what he needed to do. As Seos and Fudge trying to disengage here, actually with the slam into the wall there on the enemy support, as the Weaver's wall looks to cut off the rest of the fight, but a massive engage with a Pop Blossom from Huhi to try to set it up. Rahel just goes right back over the wall, but instead he's going to be in some danger. He's still alive and firing with the Arc of Ruin. Rahel barely falls at the very end, but a double kill for Dark Wings. Castle chasing after Fudge. Shopify Rebellion have crumbled to pieces. Huhi dies to the last burp from the dragon, and there's just dead bodies.
But still, great fight from them. And they are now on Soul. Like, he hasn't really been stepping a foot wrong. And now with the 3 items, I would be pretty scared about an untouched Rahel doing some real damage. But look at Fudge. He already popped the ulti. They're going to go.
Fudge wants to go into the back line. He's found his way onto Rahel, but he's going to be peeled instead. Disguise ready to fire back now as B-Boy jumps over the wall here with the Killer Instinct, and XQ's not going to get him. Palafox takes out Dark Wings. Disguise still trying to scramble and fight back, but Fudge is still alive. Castle goes all out, but Shopify is all in. Castle still getting away with a little bit of fancy footwork, but Contracts chases him down. The wind becomes lightning and the thunder goes boom.
He never really got to kind of establish themselves on those battle lines. You know, B-Boy goes in, everyone's coming back to try to peel him. He just flashes away from the Skarner ult, gets away from any sort of real damage, and now the Dragon will be taken. The potential Soul will be his Seekers. And when you're a support, if you're not winning a lot of fights, you're not really getting gold at this point in the game. So it's going to be a very long time before he actually gets the Zhonya's. You can see Palafox instead. Oh, big pick.
XQ, nice impale there on a Contract, but where's the follow-up damage? Now Shopify can try to turn it back around. He's about to die. He's got to be careful. XQ trying to create a little bit of space, but Fudge is in the middle of everyone yet again. XQ finally falls, but Seos and Fudge are in danger here in the front line. The Pathmaker from Castle nearly takes Fudge out. Disguise scrapping back and forth here. It's Seos traded for XQ and a 1-for-1.
On the bot side, clearing his jungle camps. And it's just going to be gone before he even arrives.
Yeah, this Baron's already down below 5,000 HP. DSG thinking about it, but they thought too slow. Nice secure on the Baron there from Shopify.
It is really risky to show yourself on that bot side, and I'm not sure if they got eyes on him, if there was some sort of war that get these waves pushed out, get vision and set up around that dragon. So Shopify are going to have a big edge in this coming fight.
Yeah, the timing here is great. You get the gold infusion, you get the bonus power of the Baron, you get the extra map control that it naturally provides by making the minions so much stronger. This is a recipe for success for Shopify Rebellion, who are now 4,000 gold ahead of DSG. It's probably going to take a misplay on the side of Shopify and a good punish from DSG to really be able to win a fight right now.
Yeah, I mean, Darkwings is pushing top lane, so they have no wave clear.
Oh, he's already about to die. The Pop Blossom keeps him alive for an extra second, but he's still burning down. The tier 2 has already fallen. Disguised keeps their support alive, but just ever so barely. And Shopify is keeping the pressure on, making their way forward, trying to force their hand into the base of Disguised.
Yeah, I mean, with Darkwings on that top side, Shopify had an opportunity to try to really force there. They know there's not a lot of wave clear for those Baron up minions. It was really just Rahel that was kind of slowly working through them. Huhi barely survives, though, which is massive, and Darkwings now completed the Void Staff off of the gold he got pushing through that top side. They clearly still want to fight for this dragon. Remember, Huhi, though, no flash, no ult. Hui's going to be kind of useless.
Okay, Disguised, ready to try to approach. They really want that soul. Fudge just drawing their attention over the wall here a little bit longer. Weaver's wall fires out. Now XQ's going to take damage here on the front line, but the Skarner's still pretty tanky. Nice two-man ulti comes out with the Impale onto Contracts and Seos. Contracts about to die, Seos at the same time, but Rahel's been killed. B-Boy with a Killer Instinct finds his man. Fudge chasing far into the back line, might just finally get punished, and he will be shut down by Dark Wings, but it's a 4v3, and Shopify are liking the odds. A double kill for B-Boy, and Contracts isn't slowing down. Beautiful seismic shove onto the Victor. Palafox guarantees Dark Wings has no way out. Contracts going on a killing spree as the only one left alive is Huhi. Yes, he's got Pop Blossom. Yes, he's got Flash. No, there's nobody else left to help him. And Shopify Rebellion are breaking into the base.
Yeah, and I think they're about to send us here to game 3. They have the Baron up minions. There's no one respawning for so long, and I don't think Huhi can defend.
All right, Huhi, scramble as you
you like. This one's going to be tough. Pop Blossom hits plenty of targets, but there is no damage there. Ace for Contracts. Shopify Rebellion 16-11. They stop DSG from ever getting that Ocean Soul. They take it all the way to the Nexus, and they're taking us to Game 3.
Going the distance here. What I will say about this matchup is I feel like if the York is playing it well and just constantly hitting the E's, you can sometimes just kind of like poke down the Jacks, where
he has priority in the bottom lane. Fudge controlling the push down there means that it feels safer to do things around that Dragon Pit if you need to. But Palafox now tagged the Spiraling Despair. Dark Wings, though, caught in the Glacial Prison, and that's easy money for Contracts. With 6 minutes on the clock, this time around, Contracts found that one kill that we've had so far this game at that timer instead. And now, finally, Yorick is very obnoxious in these types of situations. Castle still feeling fully comfortable in this 1v1. Both teleports, both flashes are available for the top laners. Nice bubble, immediately followed up with the Glacial Prison. Palafox gets the second kill of the game for Shopify Rebellion. So easy after the nice catch there from Seos and Contracts.
Yeah, and going to be able to get the tower in their face as the York themselves, or the tower will hit you. So they can just kind of fight your ult and sometimes kill it in that position. So Castle now finding himself in a bit of a difficult spot, has to try to clear this wave.
Yeah, and now that they know there's no Maiden of the Mist to try to protect him, Contracts and Fudge want to make the move to continue keeping the pressure on down here in the bottom lane. Turret destroyed, Shopify Rebellion. That gold lead is up over 3,000. It will shrink a little bit below that mark here as the tier 1 turret.
Yeah, playing around that mid lane, and now DSG just trying to look for some sort of an invade. Might be able to push out Contracts, but they've got to be careful about a potential shockwave over the wall too.
Yeah, well, invade for a little bit of Gromp violence here, but
no one's answering top.
Yeah, the entire time.
And to go back to your question as far as like where would you want to see them kind of draw that line in the sand?
Yeah.
I think generally what you're doing in these kind of, and at the end of the day, that teleport from Fudge is going to be turned into an Otacon attempt here.
Okay.
XU is in the area, but the question is, can he actually get vision? Can he get close enough? He's pretty split from the team, but would have a good flank angle.
Okay, XU trying to find a way in. Castle's going to be the intended target here for Shopify Rebellion, but they don't find him in time. Nice engage from XU, who he trying to get away off to the side. His Contracts also has to flash. The Spiraling Despair sets it up so Castle can take it down, but Castle loses his own life in the process. Now Fudge got to be a little bit wary of all these feathers from the Xayah. Disguised, beautifully done there to earn themselves a 1-for-1 trade on kills and steal the Otacon. Even, man. Disguised, we put the pressure on. We said, look, you're falling behind, it's slipping away, your moment's got to be good, and that moment was. Now Palafox going to try to TP out in time. That was close.
It looked like Darkwing kind of hesitated a little bit when he was walking in. He like walked in, then stutter stepped back a little bit, and then went forward. Wonder if he could have got there in time. But they are going to grab the Dragon on the bottom side. So you try to make a play like that on top side, and Shopify do take their third Dragon here. And they're going to move to Soul Point here pretty early on.
Okay, Contracts eating some damage over the front line. Does get locked up by Disguise, but the bubble was beautiful, and now Disguise has to try to be careful. The Blade Caller finds a root and a Fudge, and Contracts slows him up here a little bit.
They're just going to be starting up this Baron. That is super risky if they get engaged on here.
Yeah, this is the YOLO play from Disguise. Castle and Fudge both making their way up. Nice shockwave from Palafox. Rahel and XU are both nearly killed immediately. Rahel down to only 150 HP. Nobody is dead, but it does not matter. They are all forced completely away as Shopify Rebellion will now take control over the topside river, over the Baron Pit itself. Disguise trying to regroup. XU is still only at 1/3 HP.
It's theirs.
He will not be able to recall and then still try to participate in this Baron. So this Baron is Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, and you can see that Castle was pinging assist over onto the Dragon, because now they're saying, you know what, if we don't get the Dragon, then we're cooked, right? We're going to lose Soul.
They're going for it. Disguise will actually stop the Soul for now. Shopify Rebellion wanted to go back. And it looks like Fudge and Contracts will go ahead and knock down the last little bit of health on this tier 2 turret.
It was the Baron, but it was very risky, and no one reacted to that shockwave. You know, no one flashed it. There wasn't like a Xayah ult to answer it. They're going to try to look now.
Yeah, Contracts in some danger here, but the redemption coming out from Seos isn't enough to save him in time. Now XU's got to try to escape, as the shockwave will not find a target.
You talked about the redemption, but also the heal was used. Look at that damage under Rahel, though. That is like 55% of your health with one quick trade.
Yeah, that was a lot of burst. And now the Xayah, luckily he didn't panic and use the ulti there, so at least he still got that get out of jail free card. But there's so much pressure here in the mid lane. Hui is normally so effective at clearing out the waves. It just makes the Baron that much more valuable when Shopify is able to secure it. They've still got 45 seconds left in the Red Bull Baron power play, and they're going to continue using that to just snowball this gold lead larger and larger. And now that gold lead is over 5,000.
Get absolutely lit up by B-Boy.
Yeah, you got to be so careful with this Lucian, man. B-Boy is out of control right now as Contracts jumps in, finds a Glacial Prison onto XU, who jumps back over the wall there with his clone. So escapes for now. That's a pretty big engage tool down to the side of Shopify, but they got the redemption from Nami. They'll keep the health bars topped off, and they want to keep this pressure on.
Yeah, they're just going to keep constantly trying to rinse and repeat here. It's kind of up to B-Boy, just land the poke that you can. Who he's gonna look?
Yeah, who he jumps into the back line. He finds an initial lockup onto Seos. A little bit more is not enough just yet as Rahel goes into the back line looking for B-Boy even further. He finds 2 kills. Rahel stepping up as Fudge at least gets one back onto XU, but Disguised are showing some signs of magic here. Castle now continuing to try to lock down Fudge and Palafox, prevent them from getting away. Disguised knows they have to get more. Palafox and Fudge continuing to retreat. Severing Bolt finds no target. Contracts just wants to slow Huhi down. But the beautiful engage from Huhi, the follow-up from Rahel, the bottom lane of Brush, just to make sure that he's always close to this Dragon, wants to guarantee that if nothing else, he can at least fight for it. Fudge versus Castle off to the side. Dragon down to 1,000. It's taken by XU and Disguise. But now what about the fight after? Contracts trying to keep chasing as B-Boy gets the kill on XU, and Shopify Rebellion are looking for even more. The blade color is used. Contracts is hurt, but he is not down yet. Fudge looking for his approach angle. Wanted to get the stun with a counter-strike, but a nice use of the hard CC from Dark Wings keeps everybody protected for now, but Rahel is dead. Palafox going on a killing spree, and B-Boy is blessed up by the Nami, a piercing light through the hearts of Disguise as Shopify Rebellion are marching it down bottom lane. Now Castle the entire time
Huhi took so much damage, and then that shockwave comes through. XU is just deleted. You see them trying to run out, and I guess they were worried about walking through the tri-brush because they thought Fudge would come in there. The initial CC here was really nice. The fear into the knock-up there from Huhi to try to peel off.
Dark Wings from 100 to 0. The Hui barely survives, but now without the mid laner healthy enough to fight, it means Shopify get the extra little bit of time they need to take out the tier 3 turret in the top lane. Now a teleport to bring Fudge back in. He just purchased a fully completed Sterix Cage. He's got that and a Zhonya's now. The Jax is so incredibly difficult to kill, and 2 inhibitors are vulnerable. The one in top is about to die already with the 2 blessed up cannon minions already firing into it. They'll be able to finish the job, and Shopify switch their attention over to mid lane.
Yeah, Fudge getting healed up by the Nami there, which is pretty critical. They're gonna go!
XU decides to flash engage, but Palafox ain't gonna be found just yet. Huhi into the back, but nobody follows it up, and now Fudge is putting the pressure on Rahel and XU. Disguised have lost their main engage tools, they have lost their support, and their base is starting to crumble. Luckily, bottom lane does not have a minion wave in the right position. They can't get 3 inhibbed, but Shopify might just be looking for the Nexus instead. They'll continue moving forward. Minion waves pouring in from mid and top with super minions now, as B-Boy just going to try to put a couple more bullets there into the maid and maybe take that out. Super minion arriving from mid lane, and Shopify are not done yet. 20 seconds left still on this Baron. 20 seconds left of pushing power. Immediately Glacial Fissure locks up Rahel, but they don't quite have enough damage to kill him. Castle stuck in the front line now, wants to get a little bit more damage onto B-Boy, but it ain't gonna be enough. Palafox, unstoppable. Castle can't hold on, and neither can the Nexus turrets. Disguised scrambles to try to keep the game alive, but I don't think it's gonna work today. Everybody on Disguise is about to fall as B-Boy jumps into the fountain, and Shopify Rebellion after 40 minutes